Welcome to Monday. It's the third day of October 2022, this day where the podcast being brought to you by Cowboy State Daily. Cowboy State Daily has more original Wyoming news information than any other news outlet in the state. Check them out at cowboystatedaily.com. Well, there's going to be another day here of shower activity in the region. Then we're going to have some nice weather Tuesday through Thursday, really nice early October weather. We still have this low pressure system hanging around. It'll affect areas east of the divide, down into Colorado, down into Arizona, New Mexico, western Kansas. That's the area that's going to have the most shower and thunderstorm activity. But boy, once we get into tomorrow through Thursday, at least for the central and northern Rockies, the weather looks really, really nice. But we'll continue to have unsettled weather in the southwestern United States, Arizona, New Mexico, and West Texas as moisture and upper level low kind of just hangs around down that area. Now, we do have a cold front coming down east of the divide late Thursday into Friday. This is mainly going to be for the northern Rockies and the northern Plains states, but it will clip areas east of the divide. Should have a nice weekend. I think we're going to have a nice October weekend coming on up. Could we have one of those October cold shots next week? Well, I got a lot of question marks there because we got a lot to sort out, but we're seeing the potential. We'll talk about that here in a minute. Yep, it did snow in the mountains. This is over Togety Pass between Du Bois and on the way into the Jackson Hole area. Pretty good snow fell there Friday night into Saturday morning, and snow still on the ground there. Pikes Peak getting its first snow. Got a couple of photos to show you for Pikes Peak down in Colorado, getting dusted with the first snowfall of the season. Boy, that's just making for a beautiful backdrop. Other mountain areas getting a dusting of snow with those changing fall colors. And just a lot of photos to show you folks. Great photos coming in over the weekend of the fall colors. And I tell you, with the weekend, the way it looks, I think we're going to have a pretty decent weekend to get out and checking out those fall colors as well. Because boy, right now, they're reaching their prime in many, many areas. Get out and enjoy it, especially in those areas where there's a little bit of snow on the mountain peaks. And there's a classic scene in this part of the country for this time of year, out hunting in this beautiful autumn weather pattern. Don't forget to send your pictures to podcast@dayweather.com. Today's satellite photo shows a lot. The upper level low still up in eastern Montana. 4 days ago, it was there. It's just barely moving. And you can see we also have a lot of instability and moisture. Here where you see those enhanced clouds and those blue patches, that's basically just showing you where the instability and moisture resides, and the system is still very slowly moving. So it's going to keep us in a moist, unstable air mass. And this is what it looks like here to start the week. So that's why today is still going to be a little cool and a little bit unsettled in many areas. Over the course of the next 3 to 4 days, this is where the precipitation is going to be. The bulk of this precipitation right here is actually going to be today. And then again with that front Thursday night into Friday morning. This is going to be an active region right here of shower and thunderstorm activity daily for the next several days. And yep, a little more snow up in the mountains, although not a lot. Now, as we go into the end of the week, this is for Thursday. We continue to have a piece of the upper level low that's overhead now, hanging back in western areas of New Mexico and Arizona, causing more showers and thunderstorms there. Here is the cold front right here as this low heads towards the upper Great Lakes. As we get into Thursday, there's going to be a push of cold air. It's not going to be terribly cold, but we're going to see a cool down Thursday night and Friday here along and east of the divide. West of the divide, well, generally fair weather here under this high pressure in the Pacific Northwest back into Idaho here. Now, up here is where things get a little more interesting as we look ahead to next week. This is by Sunday. We have that low pushing into the upper Great Lakes, and we still have basically a pattern that looks very autumn-like. Now, this is where we get into where the weather starts to get a little bit more interesting. What I'm showing you is 6 p.m. Tuesday. These times up on top are always in Greenwich Mean Time, which means for Rocky Mountain or Mountain Time, you have to subtract 6 hours. So that's midnight in Greenwich, England, but at 6 p.m. in the Rockies. What we have here by late Tuesday and Wednesday of next week is a building area of high pressure along the West Coast. When you build a ridge there, we go into the fridge. And also, when you see a high here building in the southeastern United States, this just makes this part of the country susceptible for a digging trough out of Canada and the Northwest Territories. And this warrants a blue arrow, because if this pattern develops, this is the first real cold shot. This is the first hard freeze. This is the first chance for low elevation snow. However, this is more than a week away. The Canadian model, it says no. The Canadian model has the high over British Columbia with this upper level low stuck over California, and the cold air will be directed towards the Great Lakes and New England and not in the Rockies. What does the American model show? The GFS model shows, well, a similar pattern to the European. So we've got 2 out of the 3 model suites that we use mostly showing this cold wave, but we're not there yet in terms of it's going to happen. But I want to put a bug in everybody's ear that towards the middle of next week, especially if you're going to be out hunting or traveling, we may have some weather to deal with, and we'll watch it for you here over the coming days. Have yourself a great Monday. We'll see you tomorrow.